Food and Fuels radio show.
Right. Hello, Wisdom. I'm back. How are we? I felt like I would get up this morning and, have a coffee and jump on wisdom, because this is what wisdom is all about. Yeah. I think now that we are moving to the world of a totalitarian system, where it seems to me that the government now, Australian government, want to have control over your life. Especially during COVID-19 and all the lockdowns in Melbourne, opted the worst in a totalitarian system. I think now that since vaccine mandates have ended, that is so much more better, because since the vaccine mandates have ended in life, because we saw that during COVID-19 how, we saw it in COVID-19 basically how it was all about control of the people in the world. And it seems that the cancel culture issues going on now, where, people are just getting cancelled, and it's just, I don't understand. I just don't understand. It's like the economy, for instance, and all this climate change, solar panels, and all this stuff, that. And I think there's too many world leaders out there want to invest in climate change and spend taxpayers' money on climate change in order to, we've got to clean up the environment, for instance. We've got to go all electric cars. I'm thinking to myself, well, how is this possible, for starters? To go with electric cars as well. You know that. I think that it's just silly, for instance, that how on earth, are people going to be able to basically, recharge their electric cars? How many charging stations are out there? in order for Chris Bowen to get down to net zero emissions. Now think about that for a fact. Lithium-ion batteries are dangerous when they catch on fire. Now, if people were talking about having an electric plane transporting passengers and that electric plane caught on fire, that'd be very dangerous if it was powered by lithium-ion batteries. So someone tell me the future of why world leaders want to go all green and all PC culture. And know that, well, this is just stupid. You know that? This is just rigged. You know that? And that's what I feel. It's one of those issues where you have to understand that in order to go ahead in life, you've got to find out that life will always eventually have to come across the truth. Okay? Because the truth is the truth. You know that? I think that people need to understand in the world we're living in about all this net zero emissions bullshit and how all this green energy is going to play up at the end of the day is a question that remains hidden to the point where either number one, world leaders are not telling the truth. It's your hard earned taxpayers' money out there that is trying to invest into all this electric vehicles and electric cars in order to, oh yeah, we have to clean up the environment. Now, why is that? That's just pretty stupid, I guess. That's just dumb, for instance. That people just don't know what they're doing in our world leaders, have no idea what they're going on about. So I think in my conclusion as well, you've got to really understand the points that you're trying to make as a world leader, because of they want to invest in climate change. This is your hard-earned taxpayers' money in climate change. This is what I was taught for years in school. Never taught a good education in the school system. You know, I'm thinking to myself, how come? You know that kids are taught about climate change and not taught about Australia or their own country, or about, you know, history of Australia, for instance. You know, it was a very different education system 50 years ago. You know that. And that's what I think is happening. That got to, I think us people, are realizing the cost of living crisis going on in this Western nation is ridiculous. I think it's just stupid planning from world leaders that who think they know what they're doing, but they don't, and it's just stupid, and it's ridiculous at the end of the day. I think that we need to know the truth and start understanding the truth out there. Because you got to look at it from the Western world's point of view and all this technology and TikTok spying on people, TikTok data mining people. The Chinese want to know everything about you. This is why I don't use TikTok. TikTok is a dangerous, dangerous place. The tech world has just become pretty much like an invasion of privacy. I don't know why it's become like that, but we've got to think, well, how come? It's like, the more money you do earn in your life, it's like the government wants to take it. Like they were talking about taxing the Labor government was going to tax your superannuation. How is that? That's not fair. You've busted your ass off all your life, and it's like this is what you get. It's like a slap in the face. Someone tell me, explain that. Explain that to me about how is this possible that your world government out there wants to get a hand in your pocket of your earnings and they just want to be scavengers out of you. I mean, that's not right. And and what I'm thinking now to myself is that how is this possible? That they can do this to your paycheck. Never in my life did I ever think that we were going to have a rental crisis in this world. Crazy, isn't it, guys? It's stupid as well. And it really is. I take this very seriously. I do. This is a serious issue as well. You know that? This is a very serious matter that needs to be addressed by the Australian people in the economy, because, since this pandemic was mishandled from day one of March 2020, the amount of fear and anxiety it has caused in people's lives has just become ridiculous. And I'm thinking to myself, well, shame on Daniel Andrews and Anastasia Palaszczuk for becoming a totalitarian state. Melbourne was pretty much a communist state in Australia, where it became all about controlling the people during the lockdowns. People can disagree on that, and that's completely fine. It was starting to get like that in New South Wales as well. There were lockdowns, and yet people weren't wearing their masks. People weren't social distancing. Like I said, Sonic Healthcare turned me away. I was going to get my Pfizer vaccine up at Waminda Avenue in Campbelltown, but yet they turned me away. They said, oh, they gave me a bullshit reason. You're from a different area, jurisdiction, blah, 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 but yet you didn't tell me that I was not needed to go. So I was quite pissed off. So you can see how the fear that uh, I just remember, oh my fucking God, hearing about this no jab, no play bullshit, discriminating people who, uh, don't want to get it. I mean, it's good that they've ended it. Thank God for that, because we need our freedoms back. Uh, Freedom is important, and like I said, over Christmas, I copped it pretty bad as well, the coronavirus. Um, what a shit way to spend Christmas as well, I think. It was a shit way to spend Christmas and New Year's. And it's like, we've seen in the healthcare system as well how, you know, patients are just left there to die. Especially China was the worst. China, I don't know why. It's just like, they're just, when this pandemic came around, especially in Italy, was the worst hit. They copped it the worst at the beginning. Um, People were just dying by the numbers, and the hospital just wasn't doing anything because they didn't know what the hell was going on. And think about in the lockdowns and how the state borders closed, people couldn't go to family funerals. Uh, so I think there needs to be a royal commission inquiry into the pandemic, into how it was mishandled from day one. This is the whole world, for instance, how it became a huge political football match where everyone was just going to bitch and complain about each other. And it was mishandled from day one. It was disgusting, and there was nothing really to watch on TV. So I had to, at the time, just get a Disney Plus subscription and just watch that, because you didn't want to watch the news, you didn't want to read the press or the media. It's pretty much another flu, the coronavirus. It is now another flu, but it just became like a whole totalitarian system, and that's what they're trying to push. Your hard-earned money that you've busted your ass off for, I don't know, 50 years of your life. And it's like, well, the Labor government just want to take it. For what reason? Why? That's not fair. It's been a challenging 3 years that we've had uh, with La Nina as well. Basically, La Nina, the floods that we've had in New South Wales, floods in Victoria, and, the 2019-2020 bushfire season as well. But right now, it's just about, yeah, I guess moving on and finding that what I'm here to do is, I just want to stay as happy and, as motivated as I can during times like these, I guess. So that's what life is all about, you know. But now, since the inflation crisis has happened and the high cost of living crisis has happened to people's lives out there, you're thinking, well, the price of rent is so expensive, and I'm thinking, how come? You know that? How come is a question. So that's the global issues that we are constantly, facing as well in life in general. Because life is life, I guess. I think that the more we, you know, dwell on the bad things, well, that's what more we're going to get in life. It's like news articles, for instance. I don't want to read about crap in the news or celebrity gossip or bad stuff going on. I want to read good things. I don't want to be reading about crime that's going to ruin my day and make me feel like shit out there. So that's what I feel. I think that all the media and journalists took advantage of the pandemic from day one because they were just going to use it to basically boost their ratings. Mm. And for instance, that was just crazy to do that. Absolutely ridiculous and crazy that these so-called journalists and media companies out there were just going to talk shit all day. They weren't even professors, and yet they were giving medical advice. And hearing Brad Hazard on the TV oh my God. Waking up to Brett Hazard in the morning, Daniel Andrews every fucking day. I'm thinking, oh my god, you know, are you for real? Have to listen to this guy telling me that I've got to go get a 5th booster vaccine and a 5th booster shot as well. And it's like the failed disaster from the National Disability Insurance Scheme and the My Aged Care, these government departments neglecting people, not fulfilling their promises. We saw from day one that the NDIS was going to be a disaster, whether they deny it or not, and Bill Shorten needs to own up to the fuck-ups of the NDIS, okay, because this is people out there with severe disabilities need this service and yet have been neglected, like myself on the NDIS, have not fulfilled their obligations and their duties of care. Again, this is taxpayers' money. The taxpayers are funding the NDIS. And why does there have to always be a shit fight with them? Why? Always a shit fight. Oh, we can't cover that. Yep, but they want to bill you straight away for their services, but yet do jack shit for you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because you know what? I'm the one who's going to be sleeping at night, and not you. I'm the one who's going to have peace of mind, and not you, because your job's on the line, and you're the one who's going to get the sack and have to pay your mortgage payment. So that's what's going on in Australia, guys. It's NDIS was pretty much a disaster from day one. How come? You know, how come is the question. March 25th this month, we have the state election in New South Wales, guys. So hopefully, One Nation, United Australia Party, the Liberal Democrats, can do a good job, even with the Liberal Party. Hopefully, Dominic Perrottet is not going to be a Liberal left-leaning greenie with Matt Keane and supporting Matt Keane in secret. Hopefully that our state leaders can pull their fingers out and do something to improve the cost of living crisis going on in this Western world. Weather right now, 23.3 degrees Celsius, feels like 18 degrees Celsius, top of 38 degrees Celsius, 0 to 1 millimeter of rain, mostly sunny today. No wind, 72% humidity, 0 millimeter rain since 9 a.m. yesterday. Rain, 75% higher chance of no rain, 50% medium chance of no rain, 25% low chance of less than 1 millimeter. Sydney, Australia, sunny, the chance of fog in the outer west early this morning, winds northerly 15 to 25 kilometres an hour, increasing to 25 to 35 kilometres an hour in the middle of the day, then becoming north to northwesterly and light in the late evening. High fire danger rating. 6:49 a.m. sunrise, 7:30 p.m. sunset, waxing gibbous moon phase, full moon tomorrow is the next moon phase, 9 very high max UV index, 9:30 a.m. to 4:40 p.m. sun protection recommended. Tomorrow, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 19 degrees Celsius, top of 35 degrees Celsius. Wednesday, sunny, low of 15 degrees Celsius, top of 30 degrees Celsius. Thursday, sunny, low of 13 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius. Friday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 13 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius. Saturday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 14 degrees Celsius, top of 28 degrees Celsius. Sunday, sunny with showers, low of 16 degrees Celsius, and a top of 26 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so that's the weather. As usual, it's always changing, you know. It's always, I don't know, weather has been crazy for the last 2 years. Uh, I hope La Nina will end as well, because we need the La Nina season to end for once, and that's what we need. You know that? That's what we need. We need more sunshine. So hopefully we do get more sun this year, because we didn't get a lot of sun this year as well. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out as to how weather can improve in life in general for our well-being and our success. You know that. But for me, it's it's been I'd say a wild, experience, life experience as well. Gets in the way, and I think that consistency for your success is a part of your future too. You know that. And we've got to, figure out on ways that we can, become successful during hard times as well. And a great morning coffee and a podcast of wisdom at the same time is the go-to for success at the end of the day. So this is what, I do believe in the freedom of speech at the same time. I do believe that free speech needs to stay as well, because we need to see the importance of freedom of speech in our lives today in general. You know that? And I think that, it's got to be, we've got to stand up for freedom of speech in the world, because the more free speech we have, the better it is for you. It's we got to get ourselves heard out there too. The more people that can hear us, the better it is on our lives at the same time. And so that's what I think at the end of the day. The possibilities of freedom of speech too is important to overcome obstacles and know that, for instance, you've got to find out, well, yeah, we need to have freedom of speech in life as well. So that's how it is. That's what the world we're living in, and the world we're going through as well. And what we've got to do now is be able to look at ways for different strategies in order for people to stop trying to cancel us with cancel culture at the end of the day, because I am fed up with all this cancel culture bullshit as well. You know, because too much cancel culture is out there. That's what it is. You know, I just remember the last 2 years, you know, just basically a lot of anxiety in our lives, a lot of fear, depression. That's what was going on. You know that. I think that for us now, we've got to, you know, find our community in the world and find our own solutions in order to be happy at the end of the day, because your happiness is important in order for you to grow. And that's, I'll conclude it there. I'm going to leave it there for today's episode of the Stephen Shields radio show, guys. This podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you download your podcast. New episodes are available every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye for now.